What's up, people? Rasatian here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining me on the Night Out podcast. You guys, it's been not so long. I'm doing pretty well. I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things. I think I'm actually really enjoying this whole archive process. So I've been going back through, I think I mentioned it in my last episode, going back through my archives, kind of looking at the posts that I've been putting up in my stories and allowing it to kind of get me excited about stuff I want to talk about. I mean, some days I get on this podcast and I think, I think I've said it all. I think there's nothing left for me that I could possibly say to you guys that you haven't already heard 1,000 times over. But even then, I still get new perspectives. I still get new ideas, things that I've never tried, things that I've seen before, new understandings and perspectives. And I love sharing all that with you. So today, this is a post that I saw from Miss Fashion Week Official. And I like it because it's a young lady who's sitting in front of a mirror and she's sitting kind of slumped over. The picture is very grainy, so it shows all of her skin, the marks, the wrinkles. Her hunched position kind of gives you rolls in her stomach, and she's looking at herself like, "Oh, what am I looking at?" And it's beautifully written because there is in marker, I think, on the mirror itself that says, "Give yourself the love you share with others so freely." And I love that. I shared that in my Facebook group, and the girls loved it as well. But I wanted to get on here and talk about it a little bit because I kind of feel like we take for granted sometimes the fact that we don't even think when we go to show other people love. When we find that someone is in pain or they're struggling with something, it's like our heart goes out to them before we even think about it, and we want to pick up some slack or show them some comfort or show them that we see them, any of those things. We try to give them a little bit of attention to help them pick up their spirits. But for some reason, when it comes to ourselves, we tend to be a lot more judgmental and critical. We tend to be like, no, I don't deserve that. No, I don't have time for this. I know I find myself saying things like, you know what, I don't have time for the nervous breakdown that I deserve. And me saying that to myself is not actually a great thing. But I'm being honest with you guys. I want to show you guys that as much as I do have it together and I know what to do, sometimes I don't do what I should be doing. And I do indulge myself a little bit. So when it comes to actually showing yourself love, I feel like a lot of times we uh, take for granted how easy it is to show it to other people instead. It's almost like we will find excuses. We will justify to the ends of the earth how they deserve it and they just need this break, and I could definitely provide this amount of affection or attention or support because I know what kind of difficulty they're going through. But in comparison, we don't tend to see ourselves with that same light. If we could separate the observer from the body, the physical manifestation of our soul, I think we might be able to be a little kinder, but it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult to separate your spirit from your ego. So, with that being said, I think our being hypercritical is something that is very, very instilled in us, maybe from a young age. Maybe it's the people around us that compare us to their ideas of beauty or their ideas of health, their ideas of happiness and satisfaction and success, that we don't get a chance to kind of define it for ourselves. And even if we do define it, we are not reminded often enough that what worked for us when we were 5 does not work for us when we're 10, does not work for us when we're 27, definitely does not work for us when we're 40 something years old. So I think that it's very true that we don't give ourselves the love that we so freely give to others. And as much as we would put our own needs and wants on a back burner, we are happy to, take money that we would have spent for ourselves and spend it on somebody else because we know we can live without. We've lived without for so long. But these people, they might need this a little bit more. It might pick up their spirits. This might be the $10 that you spend might be the $10 that, really makes their day and changes their mind about, I don't know, any self-harm they may be contemplating, any, ideas of giving up or running away or just not even showing up anymore. So I think because we're able to recognize pain so easily and we're able to sympathize and empathize with people very readily, that it's a beautiful thing. But it would be even more great if we could find a way to justify, like we do for other people, justify why we should pamper ourselves, why we should take care of ourselves more, why we should be kind and find excuses to love ourselves a little bit more. I think I think mirrors are a great tool, but they can also be a very, very difficult tool to manage because I know people can see themselves as a distorted reflection rather than what's actually standing before them. I've seen so many people who are just beautiful, beautiful souls, and I don't, from my point of view, don't see anything wrong with them, but they notice their flaws. They notice the wrinkles and the scars and the stretch marks and, the discoloration or the sagginess or, gosh, I don't know, the pigmentation, any of those things, and they kind of hyper focus on those things and forget that there's so many other aspects to their body. The fact that their skin still covers their entire being is a beautiful thing. You might have the most luscious hair, but because you don't like the way your nose looks, you may forget that you even have luscious hair. And this is what I think is most important. We don't always have people around us that can be like, hey, snap out of it, focus here instead. We don't have people that, are ready to remind us, hey, you know what? You're more than just this one aspect that you don't like. There are so many other things to consider. And I would love for us to find a way to remind ourselves, but it starts with knowing that we deserve to love ourselves in the first place. I think a lot of us, well, me anyway, I think for a very long time, I judged myself based on my actions. There was a lot of shame and a lot of guilt in the way I behaved or the way I treated other people and the way they reacted. It may not have been like my intention to hurt their feelings, but maybe the way they reacted kind of knocked me back a little bit. And I suddenly felt like, you know what, if I had just known better, if I had just done better, I might be a better person. I might be deserving of love rather than, me out here hurting everything I touch or destroying things and, causing pain rather than relieving people of it. It becomes like a shaming thing that I feel like, you know what, I don't deserve to eat, or I shouldn't even consider myself worthy of people speaking to me or people seeing me at all. And it's very harsh, I know, but this is the thought process that I've been through, God, so many times. It's like a cycle, but I've learned to disrupt it, and I've learned to stop it in its tracks and reach for a better feeling thought and find a different way. Maybe not to focus on myself in that moment, maybe to focus on somebody else, just so I can get back to that, okay, I feel good about having helped somebody, and then I can like feel a little bit better about myself too. So yes, it is a very delicate dance when it comes to feeling good about yourself and loving yourself because you deserve to be loved. And a lot of it is contingent upon your actions and contingent upon, how you feel about yourself because of what people have taught you to feel. And there's a lot to undo and unpack there, but it's totally worth it because once you do unpack, you can realize what is your belief and what was given to you as a belief that you adopted. And hopefully with a little bit of guidance and help, and if you need some, I'm here, you guys, but with a little bit of guidance and help, you can discover beliefs that feel better to you that you can adopt in place of the ones that were given to you or handed down to you. Because I kind of feel like this generation is meant to end a lot of generational curses, a lot of pain that's been handed down. And I think because we want more, that we're learning to understand that it's because we deserve more that we want more. I think it's affecting the quality of our lives a lot, and I'm excited, but it also means that's going to be a lot of pain to unpack. So yeah, I don't know how you feel about the quote, but I really do love it. As always, I'm going to repeat. It says, give yourself the love you share so freely with others. And think about that, the fact that you would do anything to see a smile on some people's faces, and the slightest change in temperament or energy you notice, but do you notice it for yourself? Do you take the time to say, hey, you know what? I'm kind of burnt out. I need something to kind of pick me up, and I know where to go to get what I need. And that's the biggest thing, to know that you need something and then to know where to go get it so you can replenish yourself. So I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. Please contact me, message me, drop me a DM, and yeah, I hope this gives you the permission you may have possibly been looking for to love on yourself a little bit, to treat yourself every now and again, to find more excuses to do things that make you happy. Because if you're not taking care of yourself as well, I don't know who you can depend on to do that, right? So take care of yourself, please, and I'll catch you again soon.